Okay, I am back, and I am going to go ahead and do some areas where I'm not going to be worried about touching the wet paint, because then I can dry it, and then we can move on to putting a second color in those areas. So I'm going to go ahead and use a flesh colored for the nose. And I actually moved to a smaller knife for this smaller area, so I'm just bringing it around, filling that area in. Kind of pick up your paint and move it to where you need it. It doesn't take a whole lot, although it looks like it does. Okay, I'm going to try and smooth that out a little bit more. As you heard me, I kind of load up the knife and then I tap it back off. It kind of just fills in that back spot. Alright. Oh, and always keep a rag with you, because you're going to wipe off your knife after every time. You do not have to wash it. Okay? And it may get... It's getting drippy because it's upright a little bit, but if you were using acrylics, it would have ran really bad at this point. So just pick that up, that drippy, the drip, and scrape it up a little bit. Wipe it off. If you have to, grab another one. All right, so I think we're okay on that. Now I'm going to move over to the puffball. And everything's the same concept. You're just filling it in. And I really like this white because it's a little bit more chunkier. I don't know why, but it is. And see it like that? I'm going to leave it just like that. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and dry it a little bit. Put away some of these colors out of my way. And get ready for the next. I will be using black and white again, so I'm going to leave those out. Alright, so here we go with the dryer again, so please excuse that. You don't really want your paint smooth, because that's where you're going to get your texture for your next layer. Okay, I thank you for being patient. There we go. Now, the next color I want to do is the lighter green. It's just going to give it a little bit more of a highlight, so to say. I want to go up around the top, kind of like where, you know, you're going to see a little bit more light. And you're just dragging it and pulling it around. And you're kind of just letting it float. You're not pressing, you're not scraping. You can go a lot with your second color, or you can go just a little bit. And I think maybe a little bit more, and I think we're done with the hat. Because we are going to be adding more to this hat, so kind of just giving it some dimension. If you see a drip, go with it and just take it across or take it up and down. A little bit more over there yet on this, in that fold. Okay. These strips before they get out of hand. I will scrape them up, but I'm going to come across just to. Some spots of this paint was a little more chunkier and some was more watery. I probably did not stir it enough. Alright, we're going to move on to the shoes. And I'm just going to do something like that. And remember that beard's going to come down, so go ahead and put a little bit more towards the bottom. Okay, I am done with that green. Now I'm going to come into the nose. I'm going to put a little bit more of that flesh color back in there again. Kind of fill it back in. It is funny to say, but even coming back in with the same color sometimes gives it a little more depth too, because you're not going to cover up all of that texture, but and then again you're going to make new texture. So I like that. That is good. So we're done with the flesh color. And now I'm going to go ahead and work on this puffball. And you're going to see exactly what I do here, I'm going to do in the beard. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit without bringing that hairdryer out so it's not so loud. So I actually have 3 different tints of white. I have the basic white, I have a cream white, and then I have a bright white. So I'm going to do, that was the basic white. Now I'm going to go with the cream white. It kind of gives it a another dimension, of course. And it may not show up in this light, and I apologize. But I'm just going to go across that texture with a little bit of this. Not a whole lot. Just here and there. Every layer you add adds more texture, which every layer after that is more easy to give it this look. So that's that. I don't know. You probably can't see it on there. I will do a close-up when we're done. And now I'm going to add a little bit of the bright white. Like I said, not a whole lot. And it's okay that that is still a little bit wet. I'm just going to go ahead and just do a little bit. Want some more on that tip. I'm not covering up that cream, and I'm not totally covering up that very first base color. Bring some of that over here. All right, now the puffball is done. Now let's see if I can do a close-up of it without wrecking anything. I don't know that it's showing up. I have my overhead light off because it was giving such a glare. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get the base color down for the beard. But I think I need to blow dry this light green really quick. It won't take long. Because if I go into the green with the white beard, I'm going to get that green streaky effect, and I don't want that. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, so here we go with the beard, and I'm going to go back to that basic white. I'm just going to fill it in. Just like that. Now remember that very first layer, you probably want a little bit full, filling in the canvas. Now don't remember down here I'm going to have that, I just want a little bit of that black to show in the center, so I'm just going to go around it a little bit. just to leave a little bit. And then I will continue. Go around that nose. And don't worry, there's going to be a line there. You will come back with your knife and smooth that out and around. So. And not all the spots have to have that black showing, but you know, you want most of it to show. And there you go. That's what I'm saying about bringing that down. So, all right, then we're going to come down here. And get that one. Bringing that around. I'm just getting the tips for right now, and then you're going to use all that excess that's already on there to help smooth it out and fill it in. So don't worry about that. And I'm sorry if I bumped the thing. But see how that worked out? You can still see some of the shoe underneath. That's why you want to start with the shoe first. Just kind of helps you get your basic idea and shape down. You can see it start to take shape. And don't worry if you slop a little bit, because, you know, seriously, this is kind of an abstract type painting anyway, so, you know, don't stress over the little stuff. If you want to leave that texture, that is totally fine, because you will love that later on when you start doing your other color or your other shades of white. So, all right, and then you just kind of, it's kind of like frosting a cake. So you're just kind of smoothing. You don't really want to smooth it out, but you're filling spots in. And you're going to leave texture in there. So, and use what you have down there. There's probably a lot that you can bring up and fill in. I keep, if you hear me dabbing, I keep putting a little bit on my tip. So I can, it's easier to move around a little bit when you have a little bit on the edge or tip of your knife. A lot of texture going on. Now I just have to fill in the middle. It's okay if you don't, you know, if you go over the black a little bit, it's okay. Sorry, I was getting in the zone. If I stopped talking, I apologize. Almost done. But see how that kind of helped in that center? Put that black in there. It's kind of another layer of his beard. So I'm going to leave all this texture. And I'm going to go ahead and blow dry everything, everybody. I'm going to pause it, and I will start another video when I finish this up. It'll be the last part of it. I will put black and white in here for highlights and lowlights, a little bit on the nose, a little bit on the shoes, and I'll go back in just like I did the puffball and do the two more different colors of the white, the cream and the brighter white. So, I'll be right back.